We begin at a Christmas party 60 years ago, with a dream that parents could come together to make life better for their children with mental retardation. What started there is now ARC, Greater Twin Cities. Bigger, brighter, better together.
In the mid-50s and certainly up in the mid-60s, parents had very few choices when their child was very young.
There were no school programs, there were no Sunday school classes, there were no camping programs, there were no personal care attendants, there was nothing, literally nothing. For many families, eventually, the child left home for some sort of residential service, and that was probably the most painful thing that most parents ever went through.
But parents had enough hope, love, and determination to launch a national movement for change. New chapters quickly spring up around the metro. And in 1955, parents formed a statewide organization, the Minnesota Association for Retarded Children, to coordinate local, state, and national initiatives.
I think that the activism of many, many people on a variety of levels led to change in laws, such as allowing children with disabilities to go to school.
There were new laws to mandate special education and fund teacher training, day activity center services, prenatal care, and research into the causes of mental retardation. For the first time, children with disabilities benefit from opportunities to participate in scouting, religious education, summer camp, and teen dances. And the ARC Grassroots Network keeps getting bigger and better. In 1960, over 1,000 people attend the ARC National Convention held in Minneapolis. Public awareness grows as America elects a president whose family has been touched by mental retardation. With growing awareness comes growing concern for people with disabilities living in institutions.
By 1962, the number of people in state institutions had increased to about 6,100.
Minnesota ARC and its chapters recognized early that something had to be done with and for and about the state institution.
ARC members lead the way, helping to pass laws in the 1960s and 70s that opened doors for people with disabilities in the community.
The 70s were really a great era within the ARC organization. We think of it in terms of the end of institutionalization and the beginning of the community.
In Minnesota, a golfing tradition is born, the Tapemark Charity Pro-Am, with proceeds benefiting ARC's services for people with disabilities. In 1975, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act passes, guaranteeing public education for children with disabilities. More growth and change is on the horizon in the 80s. ARC's first Value Village thrift store opens in 1982 in Richfield. Metro chapters continue to evolve as well. And a better idea begins to take hold.
We ought not to speak for people with developmental disabilities, that they can speak well for themselves.
I've learned how to be more of a self-advocate for people with disabilities, speaking out on the issues that face us.
Self-advocates and ARC members lobby successfully to extend the mandate for services at birth, preserve special ed rules for school-aged children, and mandate transition plans and diplomas for high school graduates. Other legislation addresses metro mobility, in-home supports, personal care attendant services, and the expansion of services for semi-independent living.
ARC members have simply made all the difference in the world in terms of the laws that have changed and the ways that the communities have changed to welcome people with developmental disabilities.
1990 brings another significant change. Metro ARC chapters, concerned about the label retarded, do away with the name Association of Retarded Citizens entirely. The National ARC follows suit, and today chapters nationwide are simply known as ARC. In the 1990s, ARC's annual Rose Sale begins, and another Value Village, this time in New Hope, opens as well. And the chapter mergers continue. And at the close of the century, state lawmakers agree to unlock the waiting list by funding essential support services for 5,500 individuals, allowing them to live in their family homes or in the community. With the new century comes new alliances. ARC Hennepin Carver and ARC Great Rivers begin working together more and more, focused on bringing quality services to people with disabilities and their families across the lifespan. Today, we are a single metro-wide chapter, ARC Greater Twin Cities. Bigger, brighter, better, together. Since the first meeting 60 years ago, our structure and our name have changed, but not our fierce commitment to improving the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. Bigger, brighter, better, together. ARC Greater Twin Cities.